Hello there, I'm the student, and in this video I wanted to show you how to cut the European nations off of the Indian and East Indian trade completely. And I think for this example the United States is this game over here that I played in the last patch 1.34 is actually the ideal example, because I was doing exactly what I want to show. Because obviously the United States trade nodes are all leading to Europe over here. As you can see, I'm leading it to the Gulf of St. Lawrence, but over there it's going off to Europe, at least to some extent. Canada being by March over here, by the way. Pretty nice borders, I think. But yeah, the problem is that the European trade obviously is extremely valuable because of the Indian trade that comes in. And in this situation of the United States, it's not a really strong United States or something. I was going to kind of roleplay borders over here. But it is basically impossible for me to effectively conquer trade nodes of the European nations, because they are so highly def, they are so much AE, and they are so far away that it's actually a really big problem to keep a high trade value on. And that's why, instead of focusing on the European trade nodes, I was focusing on two trade nodes in Africa, which is the Cape of Good Hope and the Zanzibar trade node. And you can see it already, the Zanzibar trade node over here, nothing, literally 0 ducats leave that trade node, because I own every province in it. And therefore I'm earning 130 ducats off of this trade node. This idea is obviously highly influenced by BudgetMonks' video that he did, I think, already 2 years ago at this stage, of Pseudo int nodes. That's how he called it. I'm going to link it in the info box right now. But the main idea is that if you have the following trade node, in this case the Cape of Good Hope, under your control, then there is no other AI nation that sends a merchant to the Zanzibar trade node in this case, or to the upstream nodes. And as you can see over here, I'm not even controlling the whole Ivory Coast, I'm just controlling the coastline. And even though I'm just controlling the coastline, even though I have just 50% in the Cape of Good Hope, there is still no merchant, because there is obviously 0 trade value in the Cape of Good Hope. Which is because all of the trade value is going out. As you can see right now, it's 1.1. This is not showing here over here, but it will after the month tick. But the most important part is that because no AI nation has any provinces in the Cape of Good Hope trade node, they are not sending merchants to any trade node that comes before that. So they are not sending trade nodes to any of the Indian, East Indian or East African trade nodes. Because it seems that the AI is only using merchants if they can put the merchant in a line of trade power that they control, which they obviously don't do in this case. They have 0 provincial trade power in this trade node, of course. And this means that I can then get the trade from India, as you can see in Gujarat over here, to Zanzibar, where I am collecting 100% of that trade value in this trade node. Which means that essentially the only trade value that goes out from the Ivory Coast to any other European trade node is the trade value that comes from the Ivory Coast itself and a few ducats from the Cape of Good Hope. But nothing, literally nothing, from India or the East Indies for that matter. So I hope you enjoyed the short video, and I hope you can use that mechanic in your games if you want to cut the Europeans off of the Indian trade completely. Write it down in the comments if you did it already or if you want to do it in the future, and we are going to see in the next video.